First we're gonna shoot, then we're gonna brother, because the Shoot Brothers gonna give it to ya. Tribute to the late, great DMX, who unfortunately lost this day. But this is not the rap review. This is the Shoot Brothers podcast, the one and only wrestling podcast hosted by myself, Mike the Shoot Shepherd, and Cameron, the thug himself, Osborne.
Hello, hello.
But yes, we got lots to talk about. We got TakeOver, Stand and Deliver, parts 1 and 2. There's a Dynamite in there as well, but there was just a shit ton of good wrestling.
A shit ton of good wrestling, and Mike, you know, I mean, we could maybe have a little offshoot podcast of our own, also called the Shoot Brothers, but we cover some of the most famous shootings. You know, Biggie, Tupac, these kind of things.
Yeah.
It can all, 50
John
Cent.
F. Kennedy.
JFK, exactly. Hinckley, he was shot in office. We can, kind of maybe cover some of the most famous assassinations in history. Well, maybe that'll be, this is episode 124, so eventually we're going to have to reformat, right?
Maybe. Spin-offs, when a series gets really popular, you get a spin-off show, and now you got 2 shows.
Oh, yeah.
You got American Dad, you got the Cleveland show.
And we have, separate content for the Patreon.
Yeah, those Mark brothers are going to show up one day.
One day. They've been working on years of content up until now. But Mike, you're right. This is a little bit of a mini show to make things a little bit more digestible because, of course, WrestleMania is coming up on the weekend.
Yeah, they did us the favor of breaking it up, so we'll do you the same favor in return.
Exactly. I'm sure all of wrestling Twitter is also thankful for, kind of some breathing time in the middle. It's like working out. You can't just work out every single day. You need to give your muscles time to rest and rebuild themselves.
Exactly.
And we're doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing here over here. So yeah, let's kick off the show. No Twitterland this week. We'll cover that maybe next show or whenever we kind of get back into our weekly routine. But it is time for us to go to the Capitol Wrestling Center. There, I said it right the first time. Because we have NXT.
But can you spell it?
Absolutely not. We have NXT giving us Stand and Deliver Night 1.
Review. Night 1, and guess what? There was pre-show action.
Oh my! I know. I tuned on. I fucking turned it on at whatever 8 o'clock, whatever time it starts, and here's fucking Vic Joseph telling me about Tony Storm and Zoe Stark. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck's happening here?
Yeah. So just a little bonus, nothing on the line, but it was fun. They've only done 2 or 3 pre-show matches in NXT in general.
Yeah, since pre-show, right? Because before it used to be the dark show or dark matches that aired on television.
Yeah.
But ever since they moved to their live show, they started to get away from that. But yeah, Zoe Stark, Tony Storm, bing bang boom, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, Zoe gets a big win. Big upset. Huge win for Stark. Mm-hmm. But that was it. Let's get on to the main show here. We bring out, I forget her name, but she's Alice Cooper's guitarist. We've seen her before on NXT.
We've seen her before. She plays Rhea Ripley's song.
But this time she was here.
Yeah.
She was here for the anthem this time, the American anthem.
No, what didn't she also do? Was it the anthem or Stars and Stripes Forever?
What, this time?
Well, the track that she played. It was the anthem?
I think it was.
Okay.
Was it Ose? Or maybe it was a Star Spangled... Who knows the fuck it is? They got too many anthems in America.
Yeah, well, they have the anthem, Stars and Stripes Forever, America... No, it was America the Beautiful. I think that's what Beautiful? It was.
Okay. Is Star Spangled Banner, is that the name of the
That's
anthem?
the name of the anthem.
Okay, that's the track title. Anyway, she shreds. She did a good job. The crowd was standing, so she could deliver. And they've got the nice setup going on. The elevated ramp again and some sweet giant buccaneer swords with a big skull. That was the centerpiece, the giant skull on the entrance ramp that had LED eyes that would customize for people's entrances. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool thing. They also had the magnesium sparklers rigged up everywhere.
I loved how they had them right above the swords, so they would like shoot out and it would look like sparks from shooting from the swords.
Yeah, very safe. Does not count as pyro.
It looks great
because you can do it inside.
Yeah. Well, they do pyro inside, anyways, don't they?
I think it's a whole thing. But anyways, regardless, the presentation is looking bomb. The fans are there.
Real fans.
Yeah, and real commentary right there. Beth Phoenix, instead of that like body stand-in that she had. Remember that one Beth she had like a stand-in?
There was like two people there we'd never seen before. We're like, what the hell is going on?
Just tell us you're not there. We don't care. You don't have to like make up this appearance. But we kick off with a hot match. Nothing at stake but pride itself. Kushida taking on Peter Dune.
That's right. The Bruiserweight versus the Time Traveler.
Yeah. Does he have a thing? Yeah.
Well, he's Back to the Future.
He's Back to the Future.
Anyways, this was just, awesome technician match. Everyone's doing the limb manipulations, going for submissions, just all over the place. Great counters. So this was night one, so it was worth noting that the show was on both USA and the network, so it would cut to commercial, but then they would just kind of fade the audio out for 2 seconds and then come back in so you wouldn't miss anything.
And I was listening to the audio fade version.
Yeah,
you got that
no,
too?
even on the network it had that. So
right, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so that was... But whatever, it's better than picture-in-picture. So throughout the match, they're both just trying to tap the other guy out, but eventually Pete Dunne, he breaks the code and goes for the pin after he hits the bitter end. And he gets the 3 count. So, great opening match, but Kushida still looking for that big win. I would have liked to see him get it here.
For that big little push. This was so smooth.
It was a great match.
This match was just smooth wrestling, it felt like. Great opener. And yeah, poor Kushida.
I mean, yeah, he's awesome. He gets these big matches on takeovers, but he doesn't seem to win them.
No, never does.
But hopefully soon. But let's move on to this 6-man gauntlet eliminator match that we determined from that battle royale. And the winner of this match will get to face Johnny Gargano, night 2 for that North American belt.
And we already got our order set.
Yeah, set.
Because we had that whatever it was the other night. And
yeah,
so we know that the first 2 men supposed to making it to the ring are going to be Leon Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott. But they don't even make it before the physicalness begins.
Yeah, Ruff just gets tossed down the ramp by Swerve. So Swerve already, I'm liking this new grittier heel side to him. He's got his golden grills in. He's looking good.
He had cool hair.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of different things going on. But anyways, Ruff fires up. He fights back. He's flying all around. He was like jumping on the barricade like Spider-Man and hitting twisting cutters off the announce table. Putting a good pace to this match early on, but remember, this is not traditional gauntlet where the next man doesn't come out until someone's eliminated. Here they had a timer, so every 3 minutes, Bronson Reed's the first one to come out, and just has his way for a while, just tossing the guys around. And there was this one spot where Ruff is on the mat and he just like sits on him, just falls on him with all his body weight. Like,
yeah,
how do you even? He
did it like right on his back, and I was like,
yeah, like how do you do that safe?
That might have actually hurt. And then he did it on his belly. I was like, that would
boom.
Also hurt.
Yeah, impressive stuff.
Wrestling is tough.
Yeah. And he wasn't done there. Then he grabs both men and hits this huge double German suplex, and Ruff again just goes flying backwards, flipping onto his head. But then our boy Cameron Grimes is the next man out. And he comes out hot. He hits the big moonsault on Reed and then pulls out a wad of cash. And he wants to buy Swerve's allegiance. So the two of them work together for a little bit, making a good pair here. And then Dexter Lumis comes out next. And I love the skull during the entrance. Had the nice blue eyes, just like Lumis. Mm-hmm. Every entrance, it was fun looking at this skull. But anyways, the one weird kind of during Loomis's entrance, you don't even really see what happens. Ruff just gets pinned and eliminated. Didn't even see the finish. I don't even think they showed a replay.
Yeah, it seemed quick. I mean, you never know how those things are supposed to go exactly.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Yeah, so Ruff's out. Loomis comes in hot. And then eventually the final competitor, LA Knight, Comes out, he's talking trash, and but Bronson gets a hold of him, and everyone starts brawling. I think eventually Loomis hits Grimes with the side effect. He goes to lock in the silence, but then LA Knight just comes running up, hits the jackknife, covers him, gets a 3 count. So just like that, Dexter's gone.
And I think I think he got it. I don't know if you noticed this. I think Grimes was up in the corner. And LA Knight goes up to jump like for the superplex or something just before the pin comes in. And he jumps straight up to the top rope. I don't know if you caught that. He goes from like a run and then into the corner, but instead of like going like second rope and then walking up to the top, it was one of the more impressive feats that I found throughout this entire match. He jumped all the way up. He jumped like a full Alexa Bliss in the air.
Just a great vertical leap.
And just going into a superplex or something like that. It was pretty good.
Well, yeah, he looked pretty good early on. I know he was your pick to win, but then all of a sudden, Swerve, Grimes, and Reed, they're all working together. They just hit a bunch of moves on LA Knight, and he gets eliminated. Just like that.
Just like that. I was so disappointed.
Yeah, I thought he would do a bit better than... I mean, he looked good, like we said. I thought he would last longer, till the end at least. But,
looked fantastic.
Yeah, weird. But as he leaves, Dexter Loomis locks him in the silence. So I guess those two will have a little feud. But anyways, we're down to the final 3, and the match is getting hot. The crowd's getting rowdy. Grimes and Swerve, they're trying to take out Bronson, but eventually they turn on each other. So Grimes rolls up Swerve, but then Swerve rolls through, pulls up Grimey's tights, gets a 3 count to eliminate him. So we're down to just Isaiah and Bronson. They fight their way up to the top rope. Swerve slams Bronson down right onto the edge of the ring. And then he followed that with a 450 splash, but only gets a 2 count. So Swerve's getting all frustrated, talking trash. He hits the house call, but Bronson won't go down, so he hits a second house call, picks him up, hits a third house call. Unbelievable, but somehow Bronson kicks out of this. So Swerve can't believe it either. He tries to finish the job, but Bronson fights back, hits a massive powerbomb, and then he hits the Deadeye. Looked like the Deadeye. It was the Deadeye, right?
I think pretty much.
Yeah, they don't know what they called it, but he follows that up with the Tsunami Splash, and that gives Bronson Reed the pinfall win, winning the gauntlet, and the title shot for night 2. But yeah, I thought this was a pretty great match overall.
Yeah, it was everyone kind of followed this gauntlet eliminator form. You know, I think Isaiah Swerve Scott was my MVP of this.
Yeah, he definitely.
Him and Leon Ruff. Him and Leon Ruff had great spots in the opening of the match, and he ran all the way to the finish. And yeah, took this fucking reverse pile driver, I guess.
Yeah, until they give it a name,
you could call it, yeah, but that's that's good news for pile drivers.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, they're pretty much done everything but a regular pile driver, so just let them do it.
Let them pile drive.
I mean, a brain buster is just as dangerous, and they're doing that on steel steps and shit. Anyways, yeah, Swerve looked great, but Bronson gets the big win. The mid-card scene's looking good with all these guys involved.
Yeah, all these guys are the ones kind of at the helm going forward right now.
Well, let's move forward ourselves to the United Kingdom Championship match here. Walter defending against Tommaso Ciampa, longest champion of the modern era, Walter. They're hyping it up. And
730 some odd days now?
Yeah, let him go to 1,000. At least 1,000.
Why not?
But what we were talking about for the last couple of weeks, Tommaso Ciampa went and shaved his head again.
I know! I was so disappointed.
Yeah, he spent all that time growing it out. He looked like he did a full body wax, actually. He was back.
I thought we were going to get super gritty Ciampa.
Imagine the beard was gone. That would have been...
Well, and that's what I'm saying. So he comes out in the trunks, which we haven't seen him in the trunks look in a long time, you know, since he's been the Black Heart man. He's sort of been like a pants guy. You know, Wade Barrett also always notices these things whenever somebody changes. Him and I noticed it about the same time. But yeah, if we're doing old school Ciampa, we got to get that beard down.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess he wanted to turn back the clock, so that's why he shaved it all off. But why were you growing it out then?
Why are you teasing us? That's the real tease.
Anyways, high hopes going into this match, and I'd say it delivered. We just had tons of, just bunch of hard hitting, stiff strikes, chops. These men's chests were just red, raw, bloody, handprints all over them by the end of it. The big story was when they fight outside the ring, over to the announce table. Walter goes for this massive chop, but Ciampa avoids it, and Walter breaks the top of the announce table in half, injuring his dominant hand in the process.
And they played that hand and that arm, that slap. They played that angle the entire match.
Yeah, that's what
perfect.
took over here. So, yeah, Ciampa just tries to target that hand, and Walter's trying to fight with his left, but he's so good, he can do anything. He can overcome it. He's just pounding away on Ciampa, and there was this one spot, I think this was my favorite spot of the whole match, where Ciampa's just trying so hard to knock Walter down, and he's just bouncing off the ropes, clotheslining him over and over. I went back.
Can we get an official count on that?
I have the number.
Okay.
I went back. I went back to count, and it was 17 clotheslines in a row.
Wow.
And Walter would not fall. So the crowd was standing ovation for this spot. I loved it.
Was this during a commercial break?
I feel like it probably was to fill the commercial, but it worked because it was so fun.
I mean, it worked.
Awesome.
He kept doing it.
That's good cardio. Ciampa was just running full steam 17 times in a row.
Must have ran 2 miles.
But anyways, Walter gets back up, hits him with a right hand chop, injuring his hand though. So he's sacrificing, but this only fires Ciampa up. He gets up, he hits the air raid crash for a 2 count, and then he hits the fairy tale ending for another big 2 count, and they make their way up to the top rope. Ciampa hits an air raid crash off there, but again Walter kicks out. He's throwing everything at him. So we get a couple more big strike exchange, and then Walter starts going after the neck of Ciampa, and then lays him out with 2 massive power bombs. Ciampa kicks out of that, so Walter hits this just sleeper suplex over his head, followed by a thunderous knife edge chop right with the right hand. And that gives Walter the 3 count to retain his UK title. And that was, you don't see a chop end a match like that, but for Walter, it's believable.
Well, yeah, if it's your finisher.
And they were building to it the whole match, and then that big final chop. I love it, though. Great match. Walter, he's the man. He's unbeatable.
Yeah. His reign going forward is going to be something huge. And yeah, kudos to Ciampa for being, outmatched physically, but fucking keeping up. He had his little Andre Hulk moment.
Yeah.
At one point, he kind of got him up a little bit halfway through the match. The air raid off the second rope there.
Yeah.
You just couldn't, couldn't take down that ring general. And then, Buddy. So then, when the Imperium comes in at the end, celebrate the win, and the guy who was hurt is back.
Wolf.
Alexander Wolf.
Yeah, that's good.
So
good to have them back.
He's at least in appearance. Whether or not that means that he's healthy to go, who knows? But that's we saw all 4 members of Imperium for the first time in a few months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who knows how long Walter's sticking around? I don't know. I wish he would stay, but it seems like we only get to see him a couple times.
Where would he go? Oh, you mean just like going back to NXT UK?
Yeah, UK. Yeah.
Well, I guess all we got to do is just choose to watch it.
Yeah, I mean, if I see him defending the title on a takeover,
we seem to watch the ones where it's him doing something cool. It was like him and Tyler Bate or him and the Dragunov.
Yeah,
like anytime it's like it seems like any match he has we watch. It's just him. Yeah. We don't watch the rest of NXT UK.
That's good. That's a testament. He is like a spectacle. He can come around a couple times a year, and you're going to want to tune in.
He truly is. When you're like 350 pounds and you don't wear knee pads in a wrestling ring, wow, you are tough.
And he's like that. He's muscular, but a tiny bit flabby. It's like extra tough.
Yeah, like his splash isn't perfect, but that much weight falling on you would hurt.
Yeah. Then we get another quick video of that cute little dog running through the CWC, going up the elevator. I don't know how it pressed the button, but goes up the stairs to its owner, Frankie Monet, who we're going to see debut this Tuesday.
I know in my building they get mad if you hit the elevator door with your shoe. With your foot, let alone if a dog was doing it, be like, hey, that dog's probably got tons of germs on.
Why, do you hit the thing with your shoe a lot?
No, but there was a sign in the elevator once
Sign?
that was
I
like
guess people are carrying things like, oh, I gotta kick this
exactly like that kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like people.
That's funny. Let's move on to this.
Oh yeah,
threat.
I looked. I know who it is, but I don't know
Frankie?
who they are, so it's not like the surprise really
Yeah,
was lost
mean,
on me. But that's okay. We'll deal with that when we get there.
yeah. I mean, I'm just excited about the dog. I want to see what the dog.
Oh,
how it
you're
plays
like-
into this.
You're really looking forward to more dog.
I mean, I hope it comes down to the ring with her or something.
Yeah. I mean, it would be as long as he can handle it better than.
Yeah, as long as the dog's okay with it.
As long as the dog's okay with it, ask the dog first. Don't just go full.
We can put on one of those vests, so it's like, hey, I'm a worker. I'm a
Yeah,
working
the therapy dog vest.
yeah.
Yeah.
But let's go to this triple threat match for the vacant NXT tag titles. So we got MSK, Legado del Fantasma, and the Grizzled Young Vets. And yeah, this was a nice, kind of mixed 3 different styles here. You had high flying, lucha libre, technical action, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. I like everyone. Actually, I was not impressed. I was this the first time we've seen Legado del Fantasma like as a team really together?
I mean, this is definitely their biggest match. I'm sure they've teamed before, but
Right. I don't know. I think I was expecting a way more from them, but the other two teams, MSK and Grizzled Young Veterans, fucking lit it
Yeah.
up.
yeah, they did seem to carry more of the load.
Yeah.
And the storytelling seemed to be more between them.
Mhm.
But yeah, MSK, they are the baby faces, I guess. Lee's about to tap out, and then Carter puts out his hand to save him, and eventually Legado, they get taken out on the floor, so it's down to the Grizzled Young Vets and MSK, and then MSK hit their up and down tag team maneuver, and that gets them the 3 count. So new tag team champions.
And new.
Yeah. I thought they would win anyways since the Dusty Cup, but
Yeah.
the match was pretty decent.
Yeah, Nash Carter's the white guy, so that's I'm going to try to remember that. That's real easy. Wes Lee, though, had this badass double cutter to Grizzled Young Veterans. He kind of like jumped off the top rope into a double cutter, and they called it a cutter, and I thought that was really cool.
I think on NXT they'll do that.
They'll do that down in NXT, which is always fun to see. And I think they came on a little later in the show. Maybe it was the next night with a quick little promo. But yeah, there are babyface champions right now, and it seems like there's a few heels who may want some of that. May want that smoke.
Yeah. So nice little celebration. Regal shakes their hands, give them the belts.
Mm-hmm.
But that leads us to the main event of the night. We got Io Shirai defending that NXT Women's title against Raquel Gonzalez. And, I think we both predicted Raquel was going to get the win going in here. But sometimes I can just tell, based on the entrance, and I could tell the look on Raquel's face that she was going to win this one.
You can just see the look in their eyes. The look in their eyes
She was
that
fighting.
says,
She was holding
"I'm
back
about
some
to win."
emotions. Yeah. She, looked at Dakota and, had a little smile, and tears welled in her eyes. And luckily for her, the lights turned out because Io made her entrance after that. But let's get to this. This is the main event here. And they just come out hard and fast. Raquel's the bigger one, but Io's got that quickness. So she's just flying all over, hitting suicide dives, moonsaults to the floor. But then Dakota goes and grabs a hold of Io. But the ref catches her and just says, "None of that shit. I'm throwing you out of here." But good for him.
The
No DQ.
early throw out.
Yeah. I mean, some lesser refs would call a DQ there, so good for him.
That's a good,
using
yeah.
his power, legal power to eject Dakota. So, but Raquel doesn't need her. She's just bringing the pain to Io. She's hitting some big power moves as they fight their way up the ramp. They're on the ramp. Io hits another moonsault onto the ramp, and then they fight their way up to the top of the stage. Io hits a big running drop kick, which knocks Raquel down. And as she's down on the ground trying to recover, Io has proceeded to scale to the top of this gigantic skull that we mentioned earlier. And it really does look a lot bigger when she's up there than I thought it was. The perspective of just seeing her. I know she's short, but that thing was 15 feet high. Wade Barrett said 20 feet, but we'll see. But anyways, what goes up must comes down because Raquel is standing there and Io jumps, hitting she's Io Shirai. She's insane. Just a huge crossbody off the skull to the floor on the steel ramp. She's insane.
Raquel falls like straight down on her tailbone too. Like the impact
it
there,
didn't feel good for her
impact
either.
coming down was just.
And you can hear the slam on that steel grate.
Yeah, they have
ramp.
it's like sound of grate, so it's gonna ring out.
There was no tables or anything to break the fall, but huge leap. Already in contention for spot of the year, maybe after she won it last year with two different spots in the same match.
Two different spots in the same match. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, this is a contender. We'll see.
Yeah.
But we're not done here. Well, we got like 10 replays of that, but it deserved it. That was awesome.
There was one camera angle too. So there was like 6 different camera angles. There was one that was just kind of pointing toward at the top, like it was like on level with the top of the skull, and it did not move. So she jumps off, and then she just leaves the frame, and then you don't see it. It's a stationary camera, and then they go back to that, and Beth Phoenix had sort of like a little. Oh, can't see it there. Like she like a little moment. Maybe she was kind of like talking. It felt like she was talking to herself or something. She's like, oh, can't see it there.
That's funny. But both women, they're alive. Io drags Raquel back down to the ring, and then she hits her with the over the moonsault. But Gonzalez kicks out. First woman to ever do that. So they go back outside the ring. Raquel picks her up, hits the one-arm powerbomb onto the floor. And then she throws Io back into the ring, hits a humongous clothesline that turns Io inside out. And then she follows up with a final one-arm powerbomb, and that gets her the 3 count. Raquel Gonzalez is the new women's champion.
Your new NXT Women's Champion. The woman who earned this opportunity after a year of unrelenting improvement. I can't think of anybody else who deserves this more than she does.
Yeah, she's been great, and even though she's big, she hasn't been booked as like an unbeatable beast. But yeah, Io Shirai herself, that 300-day title reign, one of the top 3 length for that title, I think. So good for Io, good for Raquel, great match. She celebrates, and then the smoke and the sparks shoot off everywhere. I was a little surprised that Dakota didn't come out to celebrate with her.
Well, she's banned from ringside.
But the match is over. I don't know. Anyways,
no, this was Raquel's moment. This was the moment for her. As for Io Shirai, truly an all-time great. I gotta say, and she's this early in her WWE run, she has made this insane impact on the entire division. Yeah,
one day I want to see Io Shirai and Shotzi Blackheart in some sort of crazy step, because they'll both just do anything. They'll dive, they'll jump, they'll do anything.
Give us the step, then. Give us the step.
But that was night 1. I think every single match delivered. This was only half of it, but yeah, overall, this was great.
Yeah, it was a great first night, and it was all just kind of bang, 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 bang.
Exactly. Bang, bang, bang. So should we bang right on over to night 2?
Let's head over to night 2, because this is not on the USA Network. It's exclusively on Peacock.
That's right. But we did, once again, have a pre-show match.
What are they doing to us? I mean, I guess they had the time this time. I didn't realize until 8 p.m. when I fucking turned it
After
on.
night 1, you didn't learn?
I guess, Mal, wishful thinking, maybe.
Well, this one didn't really have the same draw as that Tony Storm, Zoe Stark. So it was Killian Dane, Drake Maverick, who we haven't really seen in a while, taking on Breezango, dressed as pirates, to go with the theme. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, the match was ultimately meaningless. Drake and Dane get the win. So there you go.
Yeah, and they earned a future shot at those NXT Tag Team Championships.
Did they?
That was their little thing.
Then I guess that's something.
There's something online at least. But let's move right into the show, because kicking off night 2 of Stand and Deliver is the ladder match.
Well, you forgot about Poppy.
Oh my God! No, we can skip. We can skip that.
Yeah, Poppy was there. I don't know. She seems to be buddies with NXT, like this guitar player.
So I've never heard of this person to begin. Have you heard?
No, I don't know them.
So like
They're
when
like
she was
alternative.
so when she was on
metal
the
music.
ramp, that was definitely lip syncing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But then when she made it to the ring, it still kind of felt like lip syncing.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not that impressed by her.
She almost went full Ashley Simpson on us. If one of the tracks had kind of played over again, the band was there to keep her in check. But after Poppy comes out and delivers a performance equivalent to Spotify, we do have a ladder match because we have to determine who will be the undisputed NXT Cruiserweight Champion. Of course, we have Santos Escobar, the current interim champion, taking on Jordan Devlin, who's the champ, kind of the OG champion. And in this match, I realized why I always think Austin Theory is British. Because I think
Devlin?
Jordan Devlin is Austin Theory. As soon as it all clicked at one moment, and it was like, I thought they were the same guy. There must have been something from years past, months past, where I thought one was the other, and the other was each other.
Their faces do look similar.
It's like kind of the similar haircut, gaunt, the kind of like the
Similar
jawline. I don't know. So I that's where that mistake comes from. But either way, they're in a ladder match. For all the pride.
For all the pride, both belts hanging there. Once again, hot crowd. But surprising, they were very into Escobar and just booing Devlin.
Even though
Escobar's the heel.
Yeah, both of these guys felt heel-y. Like I didn't feel like there was a baby face in this match. Maybe not quite.
Yeah,
because of how that crowd was really giving it to us.
Yeah, but they were still they were showing respect, chanting "awesome" for the good spots. So they brought in the ladders early. We're getting the weapons, smacking each other around, suicide dive into a ladder. Then back in the ring, they both fight to the top of the ladder. Devlin knocks Escobar down, and then from the top of the ladder, Jordan Devlin hits this beautiful diving moonsault off the ladder with some assistance from the referees who were there holding tight on the bottom rung so it doesn't tip over.
Yeah, I love when the refs are holding on to the tables and the chairs and shit.
Yeah, and they try to act like, don't do it, but they're holding it for them.
Yeah.
But Devlin, after that big moonsault, he climbs up the ladder. He looks to have the belts in his grasp, but then the other members of Legado Fantasma run down to the ring. They stop him. They beat him up. So their job is done. Escobar's like, ha, good job. Go back. So they leave. He climbs the ladder, but Devlin's able to recover in time. Sets up a second ladder beside him, and then he climbs up, hits a big Spanish fly off the ladders. Once again with a little assist from the ref, but great moves here. They're looking good. Somewhere along the line, Devlin got sliced open. He was bleeding from the arm a bit, but he's safe. He's fine. They climb up the ladder once again, but this time at the top, Escobar headbutts Devlin, and he goes flying backwards, breaking through a ladder, which was set up into the corner. So now Escobar's all alone. All that's left to do is unhook both belts, which he does, to become become the undisputed Cruiserweight Champion, continuing his reign.
Continuing his reign and ending the 400-plus day reign of Jordan Devlin. Yeah, serious potential, but the all felt a little awkward to me. I think a lot of that was also with I had no clue. Even Jordan Devlin was our babyface here, right? Because Legado del Fantasma comes in and attacks him. But yeah, the crowd had no idea what the heck was going on. It felt like it was built up to be huge.
Yeah. Well, then the ending makes it even more confusing because then Santos' son comes out and joins him, and they hold the belts together. That seems like a babyface thing.
Don't bring out your kid if bad guys don't have kids.
Yeah, he was cheering. His son was smiling, holding the belt. So the whole thing was weird. But
it wasn't. Rather, I don't think for me, I don't think it was quite the epic conclusion that they sold it to us as. But if we can clear this out, I think Santos Escobar now needs like a legitimate babyface rival, like next
Kushida.
week, like on Tuesday.
Yeah, I say Kushida.
Kushida, badass. Why not? Yeah,
Win
sure.
he needs the title. Give him the cruiserweight title.
Exactly. Something like this would be great.
Yeah. I think you said it all.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to this women's tag team championship match here. Shotzi Blackheart, Ember Moon defending against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. Shotzi looking awesome as ever. She's like the Joker and Two-Face combined with her gear. Just like a bunch of things all patched together. And her hair and the pigtails, the green hair. Winner of Fest Hair 2020. Anyways, the match itself was good too. Best women's division in the world after all.
On the planet. What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it?
I think they mention that a lot now.
They might as well just lean into it. Like, everybody else knows it.
Yeah, why not? Anyways, back and forth. At one point, Ember Moon does a little tribute to the Road Dogg, where she did like a mid-move, like a little break dance into a suck it taunt.
Yeah, we got the old camera zoom out when that happened, too.
For the suck it?
Yeah. So we can really get the whole vibe.
So the crowd can go, suck it!
Suck it!
Yeah, I think she did it. I think Road Dogg had some health issue recently, so maybe she was tributing.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Him.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Almost happened to Shotzi Blackheart when she goes for this suicide dive. Because every time she does these things, she just launches herself out of a cannon. She overshoots Candice and Indy a little bit, landing almost on her head, but she's fearless, and she's okay.
Almost on her head.
I mean, she did land on her head, but those pigtails saved her. She did like a little helicopter spin on the way down. I don't know. We love you, Shotzi. They get back in the ring. Eventually, Ember hits a double eclipse on both Candice and Indy, and then Shotzi climbs to the top rope, hits the big senton drop, and gets a 3 count. So Shotzi and Ember retain the belts.
Retaining, however, oh no, and I hope the time doesn't come where someone decides that Shotzi needs to be reined in a little bit. She takes a couple risks.
With her risks,
there's nothing wrong with taking risks here in professional wrestling. Just are we absolutely sure she should be? Like absolutely sure. But I do love seeing this. I love, we don't see this out of the women's division, so like fucking give me more of it, Shotzi. Practice the craziest of shit and then do it on television and you'll jump to the charts at top of the charts in no time.
I think if it was someone taller like Raquel, they would have caught Shotzi on that dive. But Candice and I guess Indy's tall, but Candice is small.
Yeah, so maybe some fresh challengers, I think, to this NXT tag women's division. I think eventually, I think if these two teams go on for too long, I think we would move past. Like we won't stop believing that the Way can't win. Like I know they can win. Yeah. Like Candice LeRae is out there looking like an incredible performer. Was okay. Let's find Shotzi and Ember somebody else to fight.
Maybe Tian Sha.
Sure. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
let's give Shotzi and Ember a name while we're at it. Shamber.
Shamber.
Shotzi
Black
Moon.
Moons.
Yeah, Black Moonheart. We can get there. Let's brainstorm some names, and things are going to look great for these two.
Yeah. Johnny Gargano defending that North American title against Bronson Reed. And, Johnny loves his comic books, so he comes out in his War Machine attire. Not Iron Man, like they mentioned on commentary.
I know. Who's the nerd who's never seen the Avengers?
I'm not even a comic book nerd, but I know the difference. Anyways, fun match here. Little Johnny using his speed advantage, but Bronson, he's the big boy. He's got the strength, but some agility as well. He was pulling off cartwheels and even did a moonsault at one point. But yeah, Gargano's pulling off dirty tricks, and he's got Austin Theory helping him on the outside. And Johnny just starts targeting the ribs of Bronson, trying to wear him down. He even hits a nice reverse Rana at one point. So Reed just backflips onto his head.
Yeah, it was a good one. Yeah, I wonder how that works. It looks so different with the big guy being the one getting spiked, but hey, I
guess you just roll through it.
It's got to go for it, I guess. Yeah.
And then Reed hits a big suicide dive to take out Theory. Gargano tries to hit him with the one final beat, but Reed catches him and hits that dead eye again. That gets a big 2 count. And then, that's when he goes for the moonsault, but he misses. Johnny avoids it. And then he hits the one final beat. But then he decides to hit a second final beat. And that gets the job done. He pins Bronson, retains his title. I thought for a bit Bronson was going to win. But still a good match.
Yeah, had that moment. Certainly these 2 days are the best that Bronson Reed has looked here in NXT, and a big push, right, to win a gauntlet match and then to go up against one of the best here.
Yeah. And speaking of not knowing people's backgrounds, whenever Bronson Reed talks, he has like an accent that I didn't think he had.
Oh, he's Australian, right?
Yeah. He's like, oh, I'm getting it.
I think I picked that. I think I got that one up because it's like a Maui warrior thing. Like
okay.
the
I know he has the tribal tattoo.
Yeah, like the like the New Zealand All Blacks, like when they do those like chants and stuff before they play their games. It's like that type of island where he's from. But either ways, all I was gonna say was like anybody can, if you're pushed well, anybody can hang with Johnny Wrestling. So who else, like what can Bronson Reed do next that's not Johnny Wrestling that's going to look as good? Johnny Gargano can put anyone over.
Yeah, if he wants to be going for titles, his only other option seems like the NXT title, which is almost out of his league at this point, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, definitely want to build on this momentum, and
he's looking good.
Yeah,
and he ditched the weird coat with the plastic dinosaur on it.
Well, yeah, they got rid of the thick boy thing, and now he's the Colossal. So we've kind of like just a quick rebrand. There's nothing wrong with that. Just a quick rebrand.
Yeah, Pepsi changes their logo every couple decades.
Exactly. It's like Coke Classic.
Yeah. Let's get to this NXT World Title match here. Finn Balor defending against Karrion Kross. There was no Demon, but he did have Finn had a small dab of war paint on his chest.
Yeah, it was almost like he wanted to start the Demon makeup, and then like, Finn, no, you're not in the main event. You're on right now. And it's like, fuck.
Yeah, it's like, oh damn.
He got one like strip in.
And Kross himself had a little different attire. He had like a barbarian loincloth. Is that what you call it?
I think Wade Barrett was relating it to the gladiators in the Colosseum.
Gladiator? Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Anyways, throughout the match, Finn's trying to target that surgically repaired shoulder of Kross. But, he's got his own problems with that jaw. So, anyways, they're going back and forth. Finn's going after that shoulder. Kross fights back, hits those massive doomsday suplexes. He goes for the back elbow, but Finn scouts it, hits a Pele kick, followed by 2 drop kicks, shotgun drop kicks, and then the coup de grace. But Karrion Kross kicks out of that. He puts Finn in the straitjacket, and then he hits a couple more of those Saito suplexes, and then he hits him with 2 of those back elbows to the head. And that gets him the 3 count. Karrion Kross, new NXT champion.
That rolling elbow across the back of the neck. Do you like it any better now?
I don't know. I'm still not a big fan of Kross in general. I mean, the match was fine. He's okay. But I would prefer Finn to still be champ.
I guess that's what it is. I mean, the problem was Karrion Kross was just too dominant. He endured the Stanima freak who is the Prince. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a great match. Everybody looked strong. Karrion Kross gets that momentum, credibility kind of coming forward. And he's the biggest, baddest beast of the Black and Gold brand, and it's going to take an absolute fucking Terminator to bring him down. Like, I like this feeling now that nobody can stop him.
Yeah, no, I get what they're going for. I just don't like Kross that much.
Maybe he'll grow on you,
This is my personal. Yeah, I like Scarlett. I love Scarlett. She's great.
Maybe that's the problem. You don't like Karrion Kross because you like Scarlett too much. You need to even it out.
Yeah, well, it's like Penelope and Kip Sabian.
I mean, one doesn't come without the other, right? If you want more Scarlett, you're going to have to get more Karrion Kross.
Yeah, no, the match was good. That's just me being picky.
Just you being picky. I hope that he can turn things around because I do like the I do like the big, the big strong boy kind of leading our charge here on NXT, really for the first time since like fucking Drew was in charge. All of these guys, all these past champions have just been, these, well, I mean, what? We had Adam Cole, Finn Balor, we had Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. We haven't had a brick shithouse leading the charge down here.
We had a little Keith Lee for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, we had a little Keith Lee. Oh, there's a little
But
Keith.
yeah, that didn't last.
Didn't last too long. Yeah, just a little Keith Lee. But you're right, I mean, hell, with the move to Tuesday, this could be the right move.
Could be. But we have one final match here tonight. Adam Cole taking on Kyle O'Reilly in this unsanctioned match. So all the violence they want, anything they can do, it's up to them.
The ref took his shirt off. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, he's just wearing black shirt. He's not officially on duty.
But he still cared about the match, which bothered me. Like, like when like they're going for a rope break or something, and or any time that the ref will talk. He like was officiating the match, but he was also like, "Hey, Adam, give it up to put that chair down." Adam, put the chair down.
You don't want to do
like,
this.
Why would you? It's why? This is how the match goes. You took your shirt off. You're just a guy now.
I mean, hey, that's the problem that plagues all sports: is impartiality and biases. And, yeah,
you could be onto something.
But anyways, both men had new entrance themes as well. They kind of sounded like they were like playing off the Undisputed Era riff, but like in a different way.
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly
like
sounded like menu music for.
He was trying to do the guitar.
Like
bit
what
on the
kind
way
of game? I'm trying to picture what kind of game it's menu music for.
A fighting game.
Yeah, like a fighter. Yeah, it just didn't really feel like anything nondescript. I kept hearing flashes of that Kevin Owens or Dean Ambrose's song. I think I kept hearing flashes of it.
Yeah, definitely not as memorable as the Undisputed Era.
One of the most memorable of all times.
No, of course. But anyways, we get into this action here. Lots of punches and brawling. We get the chairs brought in early on. Some of them got the Undisputed Era logo on it. Mm-hmm. I guess they got a warehouse full of them. They got to clear them out.
Like, guys, I mean, we're not going to use these anymore.
So both men just getting slammed into chairs. Lots of trash talking to each other. Cole calls Kyle an ungrateful prick. Very offensive.
Yeah.
Then we get a steel chain is brought in, which Adam Cole attaches to the top rope, where it would stay for the rest of the match and come into play multiple times. Including Cole using it to do a big clothesline on Kyle.
I don't think I've ever seen a clothesline with a metal chain before. That was a new one for me.
Yeah, that was great. So they fight outside the ring. They go over to the steel steps. O'Reilly's got Cole lined up for the brain buster, but he stops himself from doing it. And instead they go to the announce table where he suplexes Adam, but the table does not break. I don't know if it was supposed to, doesn't it?
These tables in NXT...
They're inconsistent.
I mean, Toni Storm blows it down with her breath. And then these two men, can't break. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's the construction crew down there at the Capitol Wrestling Center.
Yeah. But what did happen is some pieces of paper stuck to O'Reilly after that.
And he started walking, and it was, and Beth made a comment or something, or somebody said,
like, "Hey, my notes."
And then I was like, "Oh yeah, surely he's gonna notice and then wipe it off." No, he got like 15 feet.
Yeah, before he really got a chance, he walks over to Cole, who smashes him in the head with a TV monitor. And that sounded like a heavy shot.
Yeah.
But then back in the ring, Cole pulls out a toolbox. So he gets a wrench, a tire iron. We start getting those involved. So we're getting pretty deep waters here. Both men beaten down. At one point, they just set up chairs in the ring and they sit down and just start knocking each other back and forth. Kyle gets the advantage, but then Cole hits him with a low blow, followed by a vicious super kick. And they showed the slow-mo replay. He got all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Face twister.
Oh, yeah.
But that only gets him a 2. So then Adam grabs the chair, wraps it around the neck of O'Reilly. He's ready to smash his head in with the other chair. And then, this is what you said. This is when the ref was getting too involved, just saying, "Don't do this, Adam.
Don't do it, Adam. Don't do it." Like that, the ref should be on his fucking phone, just waiting for somebody to go down. He's like, "Great, 1, 2, okay."
Well, I think Adam Cole agrees with us because he turns around, knocks the ref out for being a fucking loudmouth.
Being a bad ref.
Yeah. I mean, this was the zombie ref, though, so he's been through a lot. Remember the Dexter Lumis zombie thing?
Is that the same guy? Okay.
That's the same.
Okay.
Anyways, then Cole goes for the Panama Sunrise. He makes the cover, but the ref is still out. So they fight their way up the ramp. Kyle O'Reilly locks in the guillotine. Then Cole just jumps forward, and both men crash through the steel grate into the floor, into the abyss. We've seen people crash through the ramp before, but this was a bit cooler because it wasn't wood breaking; it was like metal getting knocked.
Yeah, it was metal getting knocked down. It was it was a little more, and then immediately after, Adam Cole just fucking kicks in the drywall,
kicks out the side
to pull him out. It was a really interesting way to build a stage. Like they used drywall.
It was cool. Yeah, it was cool. So he pulls them out. They make their way over to the steel steps, and then Adam hits a devastating brainbuster onto the steel. Kyle's knocked out, tosses him into the ring. He goes for the pin, but Kyle just barely is able to raise his shoulder. Not even an arm, just the shoulder.
Just
off
the shoulder.
That was great. So Cole picks up Kyle. He wants to hit the last shot, but O'Reilly is so beaten up he can't even stay up, just falls on his face. So Cole picks him up again, goes for the last shot, but Kyle ducks it. I don't even know the great timing to be able to blindly duck a kick coming from behind. It's very impressive.
It looked so cool.
So he ducks that, and then he pulls down his knee pad, hits Cole with his own move, the last shot. But that only gets a 2 count.
I popped right there. That was one of the ones. I was home alone last night. That was one of the ones where you just yell like, "Woo!"
Yeah.
Just like
yeah.
a quick, just
Maybe
like a
stand
quick.
up a bit.
Just a quick one.
That was big.
Yeah.
So Cole fights back. He gets a chair. He turns the chair upside down so its legs are pointing upward like spikes. And then he looks ready to slam Kyle onto it off the top rope. But O'Reilly gets some revenge for earlier, hits Cole with a low blow of his own. Cole falls down to the mat, and he's kind of just hunched over top of that upside-down chair, trying to recover. And then Kyle grabs that steel chain that's still there. He wraps it around his leg, and then he hits the huge diving knee drop off the top rope to the back of Cole's head, crushing the chair. And Adam Cole sells it like a champ. He just starts convulsing for a second. His leg was like twitching. Selling the devastating effects. Or maybe he really is hurt, and we should do something.
Oh.
Kyle first has to cover him. Gets the 3 count. Gets the big win at 40 minutes, 19 seconds. Which, without looking, I'm guessing is the longest singles match in NXT history.
I'd be curious. Yeah, maybe that 2 out of 3 falls match between Gargano and Adam Cole.
Maybe.
But either way, the top matches in NXT will belong to Adam Cole in the record books for fucking ever.
Most of them.
For fucking ever.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was a battle. They went to war for over 40 minutes. And Kyle gets the big win, and Adam Cole's taken out on a stretcher.
Yeah, nobody bled. I mean, they're not gonna let this devolve into. I think Adam Cole's hand bled briefly.
Little cut.
No
intentional.
It's not going to be this crazy thing, but yeah, the brutality in this was, or the finale of what this was, met every single
cool stuff.
expectation.
Yeah, just the chain with the clip on it, the carabiner, what's it called?
Little carabiner, yeah. So he got it around his leg.
That's
there.
That's a unique
for those
thing. That's kind of cool.
Vicious knee strikes.
Yeah. So overall, both good nights at Takeover. I think I might give the edge to night 1, but every match was great throughout.
Yeah, I'd give the edge. Yeah, I mean, God, is there a point of comparing them? I guess.
I mean, you don't have to.
I guess, yeah, maybe quick edge to night 1, but I really liked a couple matches here on this card.
Yeah, like I said, I think overall every match, even if they were, every match was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, God, that's 10 matches for NXT, I think, or I guess 12 if you include the pre-shows. Or, sorry. Yeah, 12 you include the pre-shows. But yeah, I mean, this is great news for NXT, right? I mean, in the future, their takeovers are going to have to still be one night, right? And I think any one of these individual nights, you have 5 matches on a card, that's perfect. But the NXT talent pool is big enough that it sort of seems like you need 2 events to happen, or twice as many events. Is that what this could mean for us going forward?
Could mean a bunch, or maybe add an extra hour to the pay-per-views. Takeovers
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't seem. I mean, if we're doing a takeover, we'd 5 a year or something. It really doesn't feel like we have enough time.
Yeah, like you could do an 8 or 9 match takeover easily if you wanted to.
But do we want them to?
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a bit long for us watching, but yeah, it's exciting to see what the future holds.
Yeah, well, we know Tuesday nights. That's the new destination, so we'll get to that next week.
Mike, should we take a break?
Let's take a break.
And we'll come back quickly, I guess, with the other event that was happening on Wednesday, because AEW Dynamite still had their show.
Yeah, that's about all the stuff, so we'll get back to that.
Yeah, stick around, and we got more for you.
Let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot. Brother, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, yeah, let's shoot, brother, yeah.
War is over if you want it. Oh my God. War is over now.
Whoa! Good God! What else we got?
What else? Mike, the war is over. The battle is done. The conflict, the 83 weeks is over. Mike, the Wednesday Night War is over because after Stand and Deliver, starting this Tuesday, NXT will move over to Tuesday night, opening up that Wednesday night time slot to be free.
I don't think it'll make a huge difference to either show. I mean, we've had weeks where they moved around, and it's not like the viewers doubled or anything like that. But either way, I think for everyone's convenience, it'll be a lot easier to just
really
one
just
show
convenient.
A day.
Yeah, it's really just the convenience factor. But Mike, let's break it down just for the kids at home. Of course, we had 80 weeks of this whole thing.
80 weeks, so pretty close to 83.
Yeah, we had 81. 81. My mistake.
Well, we're gonna find another 2 weeks soon enough.
So we had 81 weeks, and let's get down to it. So out of the 81 weeks,
let me guess, AEW won 65.
Damn, that's close, Mike. By a whopping score or a final regular season score. Hey, it almost is like a regular season. Imagine finishing the NHL season 63-10-2.
That would be an insane season.
That would be the President's Trophy.
2 draws, That's pretty crazy.
And everything. That is right. AEW won 60 of the weeks there.
Yeah, so roughly 75%.
But, I mean, sometimes the middle of a movie is overshadowed by just how powerful the ending is. Because NXT won the very last Wednesday Night War.
They stood, they delivered.
They delivered, baby. Of course, the numbers in the demo category are a bit different, where it's 70, where Dynamite won 73-1.
Jericho can tell you all about that.
And that, whatever the fuck that means. But as we know it, the Wednesday Night War is over, and we all won, I think, in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
If AEW wasn't on Wednesday, NXT maybe wouldn't have gone to Wednesday to try to compete, and then maybe we wouldn't have gotten this, and all the things that maybe wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, it's led us to this, and we're happy with what we've got.
Oh, yeah, it's incredible. We're incredible.
We've
really
got,
can't wait.
We've got Dynamite.
AEW. All Elite. They coming for you, Vince. Better watch out. It's too sweet.
Bop, bop, and stars tonight. That's right. We got AEW Dynamite because they're gonna have to figure out something to pump this show with because we'd have much more reason to be over on the other brand and watching. And lo and behold, we hear the news hours before the show even comes out, all over AEW social medias, that Iron Mike Tyson will be returning. Of course, we haven't seen him since Double or Nothing when he took a shirt off for a couple seconds. But he'll be back. Maybe he'll take his shirt off again. Who knows?
Maybe. I think he likes to do that. But let's start off with Hangman Page taking on Max Caster of the Acclaimed. Of course, his partner Anthony Bowens is there trying to interfere, trying to get that boombox in whenever he can. But Hangman overcomes it all. He goes for the Deadeye. But, at some point, I think there's a steel chain in there. He gets hit with it, but he kicks out of that and eventually hits the buckshot lariat to get the win and remain in the number one rank.
Well, that's what it was for. It was for him really remaining in that number one rank. It really feels like we're a long way away from Adam Page and Kenny Omega, though. Feels like we're a long way away from that.
Storyline wise, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, the former tag champions. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? But Adam Page's rise continues to be strong, but no Dark Order appearance.
Yeah. But I mean, they can only hold off on. If you're the number one rank, they can only hold you off from that title for so long. So we'll see. But Kenny's busy with other things at the moment. But then Tony Schiavone, the man of all trades, he's in the ring to interview Death Triangle, of which members, I think it's Pac and Penta, right, that are going to challenge for the titles. I think it's those two.
Yeah, it's those two because that was the same time that Penta was trying to fight Cody.
Oh, yeah. So Pac and
why.
Phoenix are going for the belts. But then the best friends come out. Orange Cassidy cutting a rare promo. Shows us some footage from last year when Death Triangle beat him down. So it looks like they want some revenge here. Both groups just kind of cut promos back and forth because they both want the gold. But no physicality.
Yeah, it was short, sweet, and to the point. Was one of those type of things, especially
That's what
when
Orange Cassidy should be on the mic, just a short little.
And I think for when it comes to Pac and Rey Fénix, it feels like the Bucks are tied up right now, so keeping everybody busy before that championship opportunity presents itself.
And Statlander was with them once again, solidifying that. They said we got an alien now or something. So. Part of the group.
Best friends. So how many weeks away do we think we are until they do some kind of ET spoof montage where Chris Statlander is ET and Orange and Trent is Kristen Dunst.
The kid?
No, who was it? Was it Kristen? No, Drew Barrymore. That's who it was.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's a little boy too, isn't Elliot? Wasn't that the main kid?
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't seen it in a while.
It's been a long time for me.
Spielberg, though, good pictures.
Yeah, I love my favorite part of the walkie-talkies when he's pointing the walkie-talkies.
the edited version.
Yeah, the edited version.
I've never actually seen it.
Oh yeah,
the edited version. I've seen only the original.
Yeah, YouTube search the side by sides, and they'll have somebody's compiled the original one and the new edit directly beside each other.
And is it there's no option now if you watch a version, you're going to get that version?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I'm sure if you were to find ET on a streaming service, it would probably be the newest cut of it.
Because I know there's all that controversy with Star Wars, and everyone wants the original cuts versus. I've got.
By the way, Mike, if you're looking,
they did release them.
If you're looking, they did release them. Never mind then. Okay.
After years of, you talk about the VHS originals.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have a digitized version of the original cuts.
Oh, Star Wars? Yeah. Oh, I can find them.
Okay. I just want
No, thank you.
Trying to help a brother out.
But yeah, stuff like that is always controversial in the online world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember how we got here, but let's move on to the Inner Circle coming out, and big shift now. Jericho's just full-on babyface mode. He's hyping up the crowd. It was kind of funny. Did you see during the commercial version of Dynamite?
What do you mean?
You know, like when they go to commercials, but they don't actually.
But they don't
you can
actually
still
go to
see-
commercials?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I saw that version this time.
All right. Well, it was funny. Jericho was talking to the crowd. He's like, all right, in about 30 seconds, we're going to come back on. And I want you guys to chant Inner Circle so it'll look like we were really cool and you've been doing it this whole time. And then they do it. They come back. They start chanting.
That's
So
sweet.
Jericho's all pumped up. There's this funny little moment. But, yeah, anyways, they cut a promo, talk about the Pinnacle. He calls Max a Mark. Or he says Max should be the new word for Mark. Just runs down all the members, makes fun of Sean Spears' blonde mohawk. And he says, you want blood? Well, we've been waiting for this match since March of last year. So May 5th, Pinnacle, Inner Circle, Blood and Guts. And then he quotes some AC/DC to end it.
Of course.
The
Well,
first
if it wasn't
person
going to be
back in black.
AC/DC, it was going to be Van Halen, I'm sure.
Yeah. But you and I have been asking for it, Blood and Guts. They're finally bringing it back because the original version, I think that's fallen apart. The Elite aren't even together anymore or whatever is going on.
Well,
I
and
don't even remember.
I think I may have called this one, too. I think last week I proclaimed Inner Circle, Pinnacle, Blood and Guts.
Well,
Yeah.
May 5th. That's a Dynamite, too. So I thought they could have thrown this on Double or Nothing, but they're putting it on television. So, hey.
Yeah, why? I mean, hell, maybe one singular pay-per-view can't contain
we still,
Blood and Guts. We still don't know what it is.
I mean, we're assuming it's War Games, but is there going to be a roof on the cage? Is it going to be, I don't know. We'll see.
No, I think I remember it was War Games, but slightly different.
Yeah,
Because
it's not
they did
identical, but I think
they did like give a little bit of information about
but
what
it
it
is
was.
still the two rings, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Side by side.
Yes.
Hey, we'll get to it. We got a month. But we got tag action in the meantime. Jurassic Express taking on the Bear Country. And yeah, it was okay. A little slow at times, but it picked up. The Bears hitting some big man moves. But the Jurassic are the winners when Lucha hits a big choke slam and standing moonsault to get the pin.
Yeah, still not quite sold on these Bear Country boys.
Yeah, they're like a poor man's Viking Raider.
Yeah, it feels almost like it. Yeah, it's like they're big and they want to be quick, but they're not quick
They're
yet.
not quick enough to be.
Yeah, they're not quick enough to be big quick, or they're not
Yeah.
big enough to be. I don't know. It's like one of those types of things they're missing. But Jurassic Express, I mean, they seem to like only win now when we see them.
Yeah, they're picking up steam. I mean, we always say Jungle Boy's the future, but Luchasaurus and even Marco Stunt, they can have big roles as well. Mm-hmm. I'm sure Tag Gold is on the horizon at some point or another.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Then backstage, we get a promo from QT Marshall. I think he's calling his group the Factory, but still don't care that much.
So, well, we're not sold yet. We're not sold yet on
Not
this
sold.
Nightmare Factory.
Yeah. But then Tony Schiavone comes out for his, it's Wednesday, time to interview Sting. But they get interrupted by Jake Roberts. And then Lance Archer comes out. He cuts a promo. He's all pissed about, he gets pushed to the main event. And then he goes away. And then he gets back up. And now he wants a piece of Sting. So Sting fires up and cuts a promo on him. Just telling Archer, you got it in you. Now go do it. And then he storms off. So maybe they're going to have some sort of altercation.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess
Okay,
Sting,
yeah, we'll see.
Sting's gonna keep doing it. We gotta fucking move on though, right? We gotta move on from Tony Schiavone just saying Sting.
Yeah, it's getting old. Like
Getting
we
old
say it.
fast. It's so
And he's
it's
losing.
old already.
Yeah, like what we said about Walter. He's special because he doesn't come around all the time. Sting's coming every week. It's not as cool.
Like he doesn't have to be. Does he have to be there every week?
No.
I don't know.
think so.
I don't
Unless
know.
Unless contractually, maybe. It's like, I want 52 Sting appearances. No, 51 Sting will give you Christmas week off.
He's
51
contractually
appearances.
obligated to show up every day.
Yeah. But we got a championship match on the line here. TNT title. Darby Allin's defending against JD Drake, who you may not know much about. He's got a unimpressive 2-3 overall record, but big opportunity here. That's what the TNT title's for, I guess. Records don't matter.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You know, it's the open challenge. You know, anybody back there can take it.
Yeah. So once in a while, a lesser guy like this, you never know. A Leon Ruff type miracle could happen.
Of course, you know. Didn't Paige win the title on her first night? There you go.
Yeah. There's been a couple. But
Didn't Kevin Owens do that or something similar to that?
Yeah, there's been a few.
See?
But Drake, he's got Nick Nemeth in his corner. So Sting has to come out again, scare him straight. But yeah, Drake does good. He gets some big moves in, but eventually Allen hits the Code Red off the top, followed by a coffin drop. Get the win, retain the belt. And then as I think he celebrates in the Hardy family office, beat him up.
Out
So
of
Sting-
nowhere. Out of nowhere.
Yeah. But then that's when we do get the Dark Order. They show up with Sting, and they chase him off together.
Dark Order and Sting, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Everyone's
just this once.
bouncing around a little bit here. Yeah, the Butcher and the Blade were there, but then Tay Conti and
Yeah,
the Bunny are just brawling at one point. I think when we head to commercial, we're losing stuff.
It was a little all over the place. But we go backstage. Chris Jericho is about to be interviewed, but the Pinnacle jump him, and they just beat him down. They make their way down to the ring. They've got him in their hands. And we cut backstage where the rest of the Inner Circle, they're locked in their dressing room. So they are forced. They start just bashing the door down. And then back in the ring, Wardlow, he's ready to powerbomb Jericho through a table to the floor when, as promised, Iron Mike Tyson comes down, just starts unloading those blows onto Spears, and everyone in the Pinnacle runs out of there. Inner Circle comes down, Pinnacle run off, and Tyson and Jericho shake hands, bury the hatchet from last year when they almost fought.
Le Champion's a changed man.
Yeah.
And also a great way to use using a celebrity without overshadowing the actual talent in the ring. Like the actual wrestlers. It's a great way of doing that too. Both times they've used Mike Tyson have been in a very good way.
Yeah, and even the Shaquille Shaq match was better than expected with that.
Yeah, even
that
that.
big
Yeah,
fall through
that
the
was
table.
better than expected.
Inner Circle, standing tall, just clear baby face group right now.
Oh, which is
Next
so
up.
funny. It's so funny because it's just like all of them turn together. But it's still
Yeah.
it's still Chris Jericho's thing. Everyone's still wearing the same thing. It's not like anybody got a haircut or
Yeah, Santana and
dresses
Ortiz are
differently.
still-
They're the exact same people. Just we're to believe that they share the sentiments of Chris Jericho.
We go backstage. Britt Baker and Reba are interviewed, and Baker says she wants a title shot. And Tony says, well, you're ranked number 4. And she says, who cares about the rankings? They're horse shit. And I agree a little bit. They don't implement them a whole lot.
If Britt
so-
Baker's 4th, yeah, there's a whole lot of horse shit going
Yeah.
on. Serena
So-
Deeb was just where she was just taking off the power rankings lately.
Where the hell? Yeah, where
Remember
has she even
Serena
been?
Deeb?
Is she still the NWA champ? Women's champ?
Might be.
Maybe. Who knows? But anyone, they still let people have title shots at any moment. So let's give it to Baker. But she says she's willing to climb the ranks. So tune in to Dynamite, Dark, Elevation. Maybe she's just going to go on a big win streak and hopefully climb to that number 1 spot in time for Double or Nothing, because that's the money match we want to see.
I feel like we should change the name to just Elevation. Feels, we're just muddying
Yeah,
it
it's
now.
very confusing.
Very
That's what
confusing. Fix
Just
it.
Elevation would be good.
Fix it, Tony.
They're good at listening, so hopefully they will.
Yeah.
But yeah, good promo. Hopefully this does mean she's got her eyes on the prize, that title.
Yeah, but maybe, who knows? At this rate, well, I don't even know if it's going to be Hikaru Shida.
I don't know. We'll see. But we get our women's action of the week. The Bunny taking on Ty Conti. And you had everyone at ringside, the Dark Order, the Hardy family. The match was pretty good. Bunny's dominating. Conti fights back. So Hardy jumps up to cause distractions. Chaos erupts at ringside, which allows Bunny to grab a kendo stick. And she smacks Conti with it. But then Hikaru Shida's there. She takes it away, and Conti recovers, hits a superplex into the DD tie to get the win.
The DD Tay? Ty?
Bunny has been getting featured more lately, and good for her.
Yeah, Tay Conti's doing one hell of a job. I think Tay Conti's been on a roll lately. She's had a couple matches actually on Dynamite. She's had some matches, Elevation or Dark or whatever you want to call it. I think she could be the one to end Hikaru Shida's reign.
Yeah, I like Ty.
She's gotten way better in a very short period of time. Charismatic, making the most of the opportunity, bringing some pedigree back to the Dark Order. Hell, this all sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, and then that can lead you to Conti versus Baker. There you go.
There we go. That could be that could be our thing to do.
But the main event of the evening is Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers teaming up against Young Bucks and Jon Moxley for just a standard 6-man tag until late in the match. Matt's in control of Kenny, but he's stopping himself from super kicking him. So, eventually, and then later they've got Omega set up for the BTE trigger, but again, Matt's hesitating, so Nick and Moxley especially is just getting pissed at him, so he angrily slaps himself into the match. And then Matt puts a hand on his shoulder to hold him back, so he hits him with a paradigm shift. Then he gets in the face of the other young buck, just starts yelling at him. Then he picks up Kenny, hits a second paradigm shift, and then he locks in the rear naked choke, picks him up again, goes for a third paradigm, but the Bucks have had enough. They super kick Moxley to stop him. So poor Eddie Kingston comes limping out on one leg to try and help, but he's easily taken care of by the Good Brothers. And they hit a magic killer on the ramp. And the Young Bucks just stand there, do nothing. So Good Brothers hit Moxley with a magic killer. They drag Kenny over top of him, and he gets the 3 count. And then they pick up Moxley after, and they hold him there. The Bucks give him the double super kick, and they all group hug to end the show. So the club's back together.
Wow, the club's back together. Yeah, this is one of those. Not only was this a great tag team match, but this was fucking top-notch storytelling too. Like that, we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We can put, 3 members of the Elite. We can put the fucking champion. We can put everybody in this match and tell one hell of a story. Yeah, I mean, the Nick and Matt Jackson could be willing to succumb to, Kenny's kind of influence, Don Callis' influence. Does he hop on commentary every single time now? That's just the way it goes.
It seems
right?
like it.
I feel like I learned so much about Don Callis, about his experience in business school, about being a member of the kind of like Winnipeg sports community, hockey rinks and things like that. I learned a lot about him. I don't know if that's good or bad. Just was one thing I noticed. One thing I noticed in the middle of the match. Hangman right now, though. Hangman is kind of like our forgotten member right now of the Elite. Is he going to enter? Is he going to enter the picture and maybe make these men pay for their face consequences for their actions?
I don't know, but I feel like the Young Bucks have been flip-flopping a lot lately, much like their in-ring work, but they need to pick a lane soon and stick with it.
Yeah. This feels just because they've been involved with Kenny and the Good Brothers and things like that. There hasn't been any like momentum within the tag scene. It's not like the Good Brothers are challenging them for it. They're kind of all together, and just like we were talking about. What was it? What was this? Fuck. What belt? What championship were we? Was it like a similar problem, where it's like it's just held up? There's too many championships. There's too many championships. But yeah, we hate to see something held up when we know what we're capable of.
Yeah. But that was the Dynamite. I guess the next big show we're building to is that May 5th Blood and Guts event. So.
Yeah, Blood and Guts, and then Double or Nothing will follow.
Yeah.
That was Dynamite. That was our very last edition of the Wednesday Night War. Let's round off the show, shall we? Let's give our Wrestler of the Week.
It's the Wrestler of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. Wrestler of the Week. Of the Week. Of the Week. The Wrestler of the Week.
Mike, I'm kicking it over to you.
All right. Well, yeah, there was a lot to choose from, but it was all pretty much NXT. So, and a lot of good matches, though. Fuck. I always write a couple names down, and then a lot of times I pick at the last second. So that's what we're going to do here this week.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
No, not like that. I pick with my heart and my head. But let's go with the woman who always delivers. She always risks it all. And she had one of the biggest spots of the year. At the moment, I'll give it to Io Shirai. She lost her belt, but 300-plus day of reign. That crazy spot everywhere in between. She's amazing.
She just keeps doing it. Keeps doing it to the wrestling business. Putting the entire business on fucking watch. You know, like, hey,
She's 5'1".
You're 5'1". You want to be good at this shit? Do what she does, Mike. I am staying on the exact same show on the exact same night. Hell, even the exact same match. But I got to give it to the champion on this one. I got to give it to the Shooty winner for most improved. An automatic lock for breakout star of the year if she can take this championship into new levels. Raquel Gonzalez. You know, there's something about winning your first championship, the hard work that pays off. You could see it in her eyes. Oh, she was happy. She was even before the match, after the match. You
see it in her eyes.
You could see it in her eyes how much this means to somebody like that. And
her name's written down right beside Io on my list here.
And really, and there's so many women at the top of this division. It's just like fucking bring it on, let's go.
Yeah, and eventually Dakota might get a little jealous, and that's a money match right there. Dakota Raquel. I never thought about that.
Among
others. Because, every group has to break up eventually.
Of course. Every friend, all the friends need to break up. Huge night for, huge year for Raquel Gonzalez, the Dusty Cup winner, fucking one-time NXT Tag Team Champion, and now the NXT Women's Championship. She has the Grand Slam, as far as I'm concerned, the NXT Women's Grand Slam. And congratulations to both those women.
Yeah, great stuff, great match, great everything, takeover. And we still got a whole weekend of fun.
Still have a whole weekend of fun because, of course, Mania is tomorrow and Sunday. But we're going to be covering that, obviously. Our next show will be our Mania review.
We'll figure. Yeah, I did skim through the Hall of Fame as well, but nothing too crazy there. No fans, no nothing. They were just kind of standing on a podium.
Yeah, no one got tackled. No one said something terrible.
They did. The one thing that went viral was they did like a legacy package for all these older wrestlers, and they put clips of the wrong person. They had their name, but they put clips of a completely different wrestler.
Oh, that's bad.
And it was a black woman, so that probably makes it look worse.
Wait, was it during the in memoriam?
Well, they're probably all dead, but it's like now to the legacy wing, so they can induct like 8 people at once, just like
right, yeah,
guys.
They do that, yeah,
names that you never heard of,
right, a bunch of people from the WWF.
Not even that. It's like the UWAF from Mid-South 1962.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But anyways,
interesting. Well, yeah, there you have it. Check out the Hall of Fame if you wanna watch Hulk Hogan on television.
Full Hogan, yeah. Well, we'll be seeing him this weekend as well.
He's
the host.
Oh, we
don't
with
need
the real
a host.
Deal
Titus O'Neil.
We don't even need a host.
I know, but real deal Titus O'Neil, Warrior Award winner.
Congratulations to everybody involved with the Hall of Fame and Stand and Deliver and all those things. And yeah, we'll be back for our next show. Remember to rate, review, like, subscribe. The podcast is everywhere. Thanks for tuning into this little mini episode. And really can't wait for WrestleMania. Nothing more to be said.
Yeah, we'll see you with all the fallout of that next week.
Yeah, next week, folks. Okay, you take care of yourself.